finally, welcome back. Oh, that's the wrong scene. Hang on. There you go. Welcome back, everybody, to a study stream. Finally made it to one. Sheesh. Long time in the making. Chowser, representing in the chat. Good to see you, Chowser. Nice to have you here, sir. Right, well, let's pretty much dive right into it. I think the chatbot is active, so once I click the button and we have a spot, then you can put in your answers or your votes. Just find the right browser. There you go. All right, so a couple of things I want to look into today. First is a very general one, probably relatively quick, which is big blind defense frequencies. I keep saying that my big blind defense game is pretty weak, and so it is. So I figure, that's maybe a good start to things. Right. And we can do this by check the frequencies in a sing erased part. PB. None, so it should be pre-flop. So yeah, as you can see, I'm still trying to figure this out. Those are not the blinds. How do we do this? Oh, because I have loose, not blind selected. Yeah, that might that's probably be. Yeah, okay, perfect. Perfect. No, that's showing us the flop. Can I check this for pre-flop? Give me a moment. I'm still figuring my way out with visions, although I did spend some time and watch some rewatch the videos on it. It's possible that I can't in visions. Out of position, singer is part 100 BB, high card, we don't need that. Oh, hang on, maybe it was here. Pre-flop, oh, there you go. That might be it. So let's see, big blind versus, is there a big blind versus small blind? Yeah, there you go. All right. Okay, and now I would like the frequencies for this. Maybe like this? Now, okay, it looks as if we need to do this in another stream when I'll be doing this with the bucket tool. Let me take a note on that for the next time. All right, so there's that. Laris, PLO, hey, welcome back. Welcome, Cat. Yeah, Lily is somewhere sleeping, so I will have to do LFG. I'm trying to get LFG. We'll get there. We'll get there soon. So we're using solve preflop ranges. Yes, assuming PLO 500 rake in the case of PLO visions. Like it's the assumption that Willem is playing GTO. Yes. Yes, that is indeed the assumption. You can add exploitative ranges. You can add your own ranges to it, as far as I know, but that's a whole different thing that I'm not gonna get into probably ever. Royal Red, hey, welcome back. OMFG, welcome. So the first thing I wanted to check, turns out I can't, or at least I don't know how to. I was just gonna check into the very general big blind defense frequencies, but I know plenty of other ways to do it. I just not gonna bother with it now. A few other things we could do, however. Let me see. Yeah, that's a good one. That's one I was interested in. Can probably set it up here, maybe. And that would be No. We don't do this here. We do this here. Right. I'm getting there. So blinds. So what I want to look into is if we are the small blind, if it's folded to us, we open in the small blind, we see a flop. I have a feeling we're gonna need to check a lot of flops. That's pretty much, if not close to 100%, but I would like to know for certain. So let's figure that out. So it's 100 BB. It's a single raised pot about the high cards that flop. We're not concerned about that. We can check for various situations. So the preflop aggressor, in this case us, is out of position. We are in the blinds, suits, single suited rainbow. Yeah, sure, all of those. Texture doesn't matter to us. And action would be none. None yet, I believe. Difficulty relief on normal. I found something interesting in the tutorial videos. If you put it on hard or insane, it does get harder, or insanely hard in one case. But what it mainly does is you get more, you get asked more questions about spots where the solution is very much mixed. So the harder you select the difficulty, the more mixed spots you're going to get into, which I don't think we need to do right now. Right, and here we see the, okay. Do I have frequencies enabled? Yeah, I do, okay. So just as a general thing, I'm not gonna be able to have a quiz for this, but if you want, put your answer in the chat. So right now the spot is, as described, we see a flop. In this case, we see this flop, 553 offsuit. And what are our check-in frequencies as the pre-flop aggressor, as the out-of-position player going forward from the flop onwards, or in this case, on the flop? So personally, I would think it's really high. It has to be like close to 90. And I'm not even sure if the board makes too much of a difference here, but I'm curious to, I'm gonna wait for a few seconds for you to gather your thoughts. And yeah, give me a percentage number, what you would think. How often we should be checking here. And then we're gonna see. And then we're going to dive into some specific hands and see what we're going to do with them. If it turns out that this is an interesting spot at all, if it's very possible, nay, likely, that we are checking as Joy Boy. Oh, that's tough to say, man. Welcome back. Close to 90, right? Everybody seems to be saying. So this is probably not going to be the most interesting spot to study, but it's important for me, for myself, to figure out these frequencies. Batch into channel as well. Good to see you, sir. 90% seems to be the consensus here. And wow, it's actually 98%. So we're checking 100% here. So this is not a spot where we're gonna, or actually we could check some hands and see how much check raising is going on there. Well, never mind. That's probably not all that exciting because there is going to be a whole lot of check raising if you're checking 100% of our range, right? Okay, good to know. Because that's a spot I personally always struggle with when I hit something good, when I hit something bad, the impulse is to check anyway. But if I hit something good, I sit here, man, how do I play this out of position? You know what, let's actually do that. Let's actually play a few hands and look at turn play maybe. Maybe in a check bet scenario. Yeah, let's figure that out. Plus IDN. Thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate it. All right. So the spot changes slightly. We now check. We see a bet. I think in general, like, yeah, sure. Let's do the frequencies first. I'm gonna turn it off afterwards, though. And let's see what our calling frequency would be here. What do you guys think? Again, I don't think the board, this is more of a general thing, but yeah, sure. It's probably, it's asking specifically to this board. So let's figure this. Personally, I'd say something like, we're probably not calling much, not raising much. So let's say we fold a good deal, something like this maybe. This is too convoluted to ask for answers, so I'm just going to go with my gut feeling, see where we stand. Yeah, let's see. Oh, actually not that bad. Not that bad at all. Within a 5% confidence interval. Nice. All right. So let's maybe take the... What is it? Keep giving us mono. Okay, let's go over the board like this. Just this one last thing, and then we'll dive into some specific hands. Instinctively, I would say on this board, we are. Feel free if you have any guesses to put them in there. Probably best if you give me the guess for checking and for raising, because that way folding will take care of itself. So I'd say we're check raising some, maybe something like this, which still seems pretty high, but yeah, maybe that still seems a little high. And maybe something like this, close to. Maybe a bit less calling. I'll wait for a second if I'm kind of messed up on these. Hey, me too. That's the, or I'm very uncertain about plenty of this as well, which is the whole reason why we're doing that right now. So you come to the right place, Chowser, I guess. So let me just refill my vape and then. Oh, never mind. There you go. All right, let's check here. Whoa! Hey, yay me! Wow. Turns out we are check raising quite a good deal less and calling a good deal more. So 14% was still pushing it, because, you know, that's basically 50% more check raising than 9% here. If you do the math. Which I'm barely able to. All right, let's jump into a hand in this spot. And I basically want to go to the turn. Can I go to the turn right away? Yeah, but yeah, I know how to. Next one, but okay. So with this hand, I'll actually put it up to a vote. See if the voting bot works. So we could fold, call, or raise. Let me start this thingy. Okay. Why does the button say 75%? That's because the raise size would be 75% if we do decide to raise here. Nuclear Smurf, welcome back, asking what the deal is today. The deal is today I want to look into... We're going to be using visions. We are going to be looking into small blind versus big blind flop play, or post-flop play, I should say, in general. And then a more general thing where we're going to be out of position, maybe in multi-base spots. And how do we approach it if we flop something strong? Because that's something I noticed yesterday where I go like, oh, shit, now how do I play this out of position against 5 peeps? Batch, I need to disable that Nightbot command for the study streams. Notice every time. But you can just put in exclamation point F. Yeah, of course we fold. That's a pretty easy one. But at least I would hope so. Let's see. Can we not continue here? Let me just try something. Oh yeah, sure we can continue, but we need a hand we can continue with. So let's see. Let's give us something to work with and take out like the no board pair. No flush card, no backdoor flush draw, no straight. Maybe go like this. So we get a bit of some stronger hands here. See if this works the way I intend to. Yeah, that'll work. And with this one, we can go to post-flop play, to like turn play. So again, it's fold, call, raise. Oh, hang on, I need to... Oh, damn it, I didn't award prizes for the last one. I haven't done this in a while. OMFG, hang on, you need to wait. All right, see what you put in there. I would probably go with the raise as well. Yeah. Michael Boccia or Bocca. Never quite know how to pronounce it. Welcome back. Okay, so the Raisers unanimously have it. And actually, we only call. We normally lose this player, apparently. So actually, everybody was wrong, including me. Okay. So, but now we can continue this hand. And it continues with us having called. It was 12 PB, now it's 20. He bet 6, yeah. So it does pick the G. If we do click continue here, it does pick the GTO solution. Bad luck, Thresh. Thank you very much for the follow. And now we turn the king here. And this is actually where it gets interesting for me. Like at runtime, I'm out of position, as I was saying. I'm struggling with these spots. So I'm curious what you guys think what we do. Do we check again? Board gets more draw heavy. Puts more draws out there. Let's see. The options are to check or to bet 75%. Gonna start the poll. OMFG, you always have to wait for the when the NutRaisin bot says voting started. Sorry about that. I'm sometimes a bit slow. Yeah, you can put the whole thing, or you can just put exclamation point in the first letter. So check B for bet or R for raise, as the case might be. You need the exclamation point. Sorry, a bit late. Probably gonna be late for this one. Plus, but now you're all set for the next one. You actually can't raise. It would be call or bet. Like when the poll starts, in the second line, so first line says NutRaisin bot voting started. In the second line, it gives you the options. So in this case, exclamation point check, exclamation point bet, and you can make it easier on yourself and just use the first letter with the exclamation point, just as a reminder. Okay, so everybody checking here. Check is indeed the correct answer. And let's continue. And our opponent decides to bet 3/4 again. And what do we do now? Fold, call, or pot. So the options would be fold, call, or raise. Oh, hang on. I need to... Can I still reward this? I don't know. Can I? Yeah, okay. That works. Cool. Phew. So now would be fold, call, raise. Fold, call, raise. Exactly. Starting at... OMFG, again, too quick on the trigger. Oh, I'm too slow, actually. Which I am. There you go. Gonna go with the raise now as well. I think we want to try to build a pot now. Unfortunately, as of yet, we cannot proceed to the river, but this is valuable on its own, at least to me. So I'm the only one who's raising, huh? Okay, let's go with the majority vote. Calling is indeed the correct answer. You guys got it right. So let's reward this first. Ooh, somebody's rewarding me. Boy hell. Thank you very much for the follow. Or is it raise? Better full houses, so raise my... Could always run the river sim. Shadow Maniac, welcome back. I could. I'll wait for the fine folks over at Visions to do that. I hear this river play will be implemented at some point. All right. So, cool. Let's find a new spot. Does new spot give us a new... Doesn't give us a new flop? Let me try this again. I mean, it's a slightly different flop. Actually, it would be interesting to figure out if this is ever a call, or what the GTO way of playing this is. Not sure myself. Just we block better flows. The raise might not be bad regarding the last one. So they're storming out with a call. Bad luck Thresh with the fold. So we block a heart. We have the 7. Block the straight drive, backdoors. I think I'm going to go with the fold as well. We have some cards relevant to the board, but I don't know. Maybe I'm too nitty here. Oh, damn it. I don't know. I might have misrewarded here. Hang on. Is fold indeed correct? Phew! Okay, I clicked the wrong button first. This is bound to happen a bunch of times until I get more sophisticated using this whole setup. All right, phew. Let's see. No spot. Why does it always give us a jack-jack board? Is it something that I selected? No, not really. I just want to get a new spot, maybe. Okay, why do we keep getting jacks? I want to do one more, see if we keep getting pocket jacks here on the board. No, okay, just pocket pairs, apparently. Let's take the... Not that. Let's take the paired boards out of it for now. All right, go with something like this. And also interesting with 2 pair, if we check raise here without any additional backup at all. All right. Let's play this hand out until the... for the flop and the turn. Remain calling. Sounds pretty good to me without additional backup. But let's... yeah, we'll see. We check out some variations of this hand in a moment. Hang on, please, my phone. Sorry about that. Oh no, my brother went fishing really quickly after work, and he just lost one of like a once in a lifetime fish. Oh well, he needed to at least wait for that for about 15 seconds. So sorry for being absent there. All right, the cards have it. Let's reward this first. And yes, you can change your answer exactly. If you type in exclamation point C and you think you're that erased, and just type in whatever you would like to do instead. So yeah, if you type in check and then bet is going to count. It'll change your answer to bet. Right. So, and you can see there's a lot of calling going on, even if we have the backdoor flush draw, as long as we don't have the backdoor flush draw and the front door flush draw blocker. A blocker doesn't even it doesn't even specify as a Broadway blocker. Oh, actually it does. So our hand always gets called, and it starts to get mixed if we have 1 heart, no backdoors. Actually, if one Broadway heart and one... Oh, there you go. not with no backdoors, but with a front door and with a backdoor blocker, front door blocker as a Broadway. We start raising here. And yeah, it's pretty much with the front door flush draw, we check raise as well. Two pair into flush draw. Makes a lot of sense. Does it raise the King of Hearts? Shadow Maniac. Just the King of Hearts. That would be in here. Apparently not if you don't have a backdoor blocker. That's what I'm gleaming from this. If I should be diving into this a different way, Shadow Maniac, to answer this question better, let me know. Because I know you know way around visions by now. Generally speaking, you see the general frequencies for this spot down here, where we fold almost 50% of the time, call 40% of the time, and check raise 13% of the time. Click on it. Oh, there you go. Thank you. Not often. Oh, wait. As you can see here, oh, I should probably scroll down a little bit. Sorry, didn't realize that was cut off. Sometimes frequencies are misleading. Actually, let's add the frequencies here. Oh, not these, but these, right. So yeah, sometimes it's a check raise. Third of the time. And yeah, the strongest ones we raise it, check raise as well. The flush draw always with the backdoor flush draw. Actually, we tend to raise it with the backdoor flush draw in triple a little bit more often. No, that's not true. Yeah, it actually is. All right. So if it's a bit weaker, if the backdoor flush draw is a bit weaker by reasons of us having 3 of them, we check raise it a bit more often. It's also a pretty common pattern that among the stronger hands, the weaker of the strongest hands gets check raised a bit more often in spots like these. Out of position, I believe. Seems to be a general thing. All right. And let's actually continue this hand. So we continue with the call here. And now, so I would assume we check again, but I'm curious to see what happens if this guy now puts in another bet. Let's see if that comes to pass. Pretty much the blankest card in the deck here, the Deuce of Diamonds. Lovely troll rap song. Yeah, I haven't gotten around to taking this one out of the playlist. I was hoping nobody would notice. So makes you want to grab the bong. This feels like a reasonable response to that input. All right, voting is stopped. Let's see. Checking 100%. Do we have a lead? Might be an interesting one. Which ones do we lead? The ones with one. Okay, so there's one that we lead, but I would ignore this. Weasel coming over with a raid. How did your stream go, my friend? I hope it was a doozy. I hope you had a good one. Welcome over, everybody, to the channel. Huge shout out to Weasel. If you guys don't follow Weasel, you know, if there's any Hold'em streamer, or mainly Hold'em streamer that I watch, it is Weasel. It is a hoot on his channel. This guy is hilarious as fuck, and he doesn't give an F either. I highly recommend you check him out for a excellent time. Nice to see you, man. Rulers Poker coming over as well. Good to see you, sir. Yeah, go give Weasel a follow. You're not going to regret it. You're going to have an excellent time. Welcome over, everybody, to the channel. My name is NutRaisin. This is a PLO only channel. We deal in 4 cards here. Normally, I stream the micro stakes cash games on a full-time basis. PLO 20 is my main game, soon taking PLO 50 shots again. Also played a lot of PLO tournaments recently. And right now, we're having a no-delay interactive study stream using PLO visions, where you, by courtesy of Rulers Poker, who is the mind behind this wonderful tool, by the way, representing in the chat. Shout out to Rulers as well, who does study streams. I haven't seen you do study streams in a while on your channel, Rulers. Do you still do them? Definitely give this guy a follow. He knows about PLO. If you want to learn this, the dark side of poker, his channel is the place to be. Right. So right now we're looking into single raise pots where we're in the small blind, we are out of position, and how we proceed post flop. We just figured out that that on the flop we're basically checking 100% of the range. The solver is checking like 93%, but you know, there's so many things to learn in PLO, which just make it easier than us. Check 100% of our range in the small blind and figuring out how we respond in different situations at this point. No, the post-flop sims are actually in Visions, Rossiton. You can add your... There you go, the man himself. Gambler 190, thank you very much for the follow, appreciate it. So we checked here. Wait, what happens? We check, okay, so let's continue, see what our opponent does. Opponent bets 3/4 of the pot here. What do we do? Do we just call again, or do we now check rip it here with top and middle pair? No real blockers at all. Let's see. Hang on, I need to start the thingy. So it's would be check, call, raise. There you go. Everybody, Rulers Poker going with the check, the man himself, huh? All right. Yeah, sounds fine. What we cannot do just yet is go to the river, but I really appreciate the fact that in Visions we can actually solve post-flop or get GTO-based answers for post-flop situations as well. Just huge to me. So if you're new to this whole thing, Rulers Poker has helped me very kindly to set up a bot that tallies your answers. So if you want to participate, as you can see the chat, a lot of people are. You type in, every time I start a poll, there's the NutRaisin bot is going to give you the options. In this case, it was exclamation point fold, call, or raise. You can just use the first letter, and that way your answer will get tallied and will get counted. And that's pretty much it. So the calls have it, huh? 9 out of 9 are gone for the call here, and that is correct. As you can see, there are no variations of this hand where we now check rip it here. Let's dish out the rewards. Everybody's a winner. It's like a modern age kindergarten where everyone is a winner. Okay. At some point in the future, we will be able to proceed to the river here as well, which will certainly be something we'll utilize a lot. Let's figure out a new spot, in this case a new flop. And I set it so that that Vision always gives us some sort of hand. Ooh, we might have crashed Visions here. No, we have not. So I unchecked that we don't hit anything from the board, basically. We always show up with something here. The bottom set, again, well, actually, we do have backup here. We have 2 backdoor flush draws. Oh, OMFG, that's an excellent point. I could change the deuce of diamonds to a deuce of hearts. We'll note it going forward. Yeah, good point. Could actually... If I click here, there's just going to be suit. Yeah, it changes suit variations. Okay, so sorry for clicking this. But I wanted to see what it does. And this time we only... Yeah, that's maybe a bit more interesting. See if we ever call here. All right, let's put it to the vote. On the turn, yeah. OMG, noted. Thank you. I'm a bit better prepared than for the last study stream. I actually did watch the tutorial videos again. But appreciate all the help. You can click on your hand to make a more interesting combination. All right, we'll do this after the voting's over. Because, yeah, that one is probably going to be straightforward, right? So let's stop the voting. Actually, I'll stop it manually. Don't need to drag this out. Should be a straightforward spot. And fold is indeed the correct answer. Everybody's a winner again. And does it work now? Oh, now it takes me back to the... Oh no, now it gives me a different... Okay, so now it gives me different suit variations. All right. So let's actually go with this one, see if it makes any difference to have the two backdoor flush draws. That would be kind of interesting to me, to be honest. And that probably does make all the difference. The 9, I guess, sort of acts like a little bit as a blocker to some straight lines. Lily, wo kommst du denn her? The cat just woke up. Didn't even know she was here. Easy when the answer was just shown. Well, yeah, good point. No, I'm not sure. Oh, finally, Lily. Want to hang out here, I guess? Does she up to shenanigans? Let's see. Lily is my cat, by the way, in case you don't know. Call is the correct answer. There is one case of check raising going on here with 3 hearts, but not sure if that's too important. There's actually only one hand that gets check raised, one specific hand that gets check raised at a really high frequency here, at 100% frequency. Other than that, there are 2 that are mixed. So I would just ignore this and go with 100% check calling. Basically, would be my approach. Since again, there's so many things to learn in PLO. All right, let's continue this. Oh, hang on. We board this first, all right. Still getting into the flow of things, what buttons to click in what order. Wait. Oh, my bad, I go. Yeah, of course I clicked the wrong button, so for today I'm not gonna bother going it. I could update the database manually, but whatever. No biggie. Call obviously was correct, not fold. Okay, let's continue this, and we do make the straight here with the gutter to the straight flush. Can we now? All right, let's go with maybe like a 10 of spades. See what we do. Ah, that's probably not very interesting either. Let's see. Let's go with. I don't know. You guys have any idea for a good turn card that would make this interesting? Like if you give us 2 pair, it becomes pretty straightforward. We probably check call again. 9 of spades. Doesn't change the board that much. Well, it changes our draws, but the nuts are still nuts on the board. Maybe yeah, the joy by joy, the 8 of spades. The 8 of spades might be a bit more interesting, yeah. Might be a bit more spicy. The 5 of spades. The 5 of spades. You know what? I like the 5 of spades. That's a good one. Let's go with that. All right. And I will assume we check 100% here. Let's see what we do if our opponent bets again. We could fold, we could call, or we could raise are the options. Hang on, give me a moment, I need to check something. But like Thresh going with the raise here on the paired board. Interesting. Sort of is a semi-bluff. Ruler's poker going for the fold. Honestly, I didn't even put an opinion in yet. This actually is a tough card. With the 6 blocker, I think I'm going to go with the call myself, even though my vote's not going to be counted anymore. Let's see, the calls have it incidentally as well. And Rulers Poker right on the money with the only fold in there. Very nice, Rulers. Very nice. Even with the 6 blocker, huh? Interesting. What? So debated. Thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate it. Okay, same spot. We see a flop. This time we have a very tiny piece of it. Do we even have a gutter? No. Interesting. Yeah. You know what? This might be relatively basic for some of you, but for me, it is certainly interesting out of position play. And this time we have a very weak hand. So let's start. We could fold, call, or raise again. 75% means that if we raise by 75% or 2 by whatever. Where are you going with the fold, huh? No backup, no real blockers. Yeah, actually feels like it. We are at normal difficulty. Am I correct? Do I have the correct takeaway from one of the tutorial videos, Rulers Poker, that if I increase the difficulty down here, gee, why is this not showing the whole thing? Let me see. There you go. That if it's what it does, it gives us more mixed spots. Is that correct? So everybody folding. Let's see. Fold is indeed the correct answer. Let's check out. First, let me do the reward. There's that. Let's check out what we call with. Obviously, with the well, basically only with the flush. Yeah. There's no check raising going on with this hand, even if we have the backdoor nut flush as well, or backdoor flush as well. Fair enough. All right. So yeah, so right now I have a difficulty, so we don't get as many mix spots, because that's what I think the difficulty thing mainly influences, right? Do let me know, Rulers, if that's correct. Go for hard. All right. Doing it. It's going to be pretty straightforward. Going to fold here. Okay, that's an interesting one. I'll leave it up before starting the poll, just to think about it first. All right. In case you're wondering why I'm sometimes grinning into the distance like an idiot, I have my young kitten on the table here. She needs a bit of attention. Don't have the lily cam right now, or do I? No, I don't. Already gone for the call. Should be pretty straightforward. But let's play this one out. Would raise with the hard blocker instead. Oh, like if you... If you have like the ace of hearts in there or something. All right, the calls have the majority right now. And calling is indeed correct. With the 10 of hearts. All right, let's see. Ooh, there you go. One of the 10 of heart combos does get raised. If the 10 of the hearts is the highest, there's a 50-50 mix going on here. Very nice, Shadow. Oh, yeah, if you only have the 10 of heart, I guess. Well, actually, it didn't seem it. We are the pre-flop aggressor. It's blind versus blind, so it bet, but yeah, it bet. it. All right, let's continue this one 2 turns. Might be interesting. Do we check raise? Do we just check call? Do we even lead? I don't think we lead here, right? With the 10 of hearts. So yeah, okay, yeah. Because we wouldn't show up with that. Maybe we would. I'm gonna just assume it's we check here. Always, yep. There's one combination that gets led here with a, again, something we saw earlier in the same spot with a different hand. If we have the nut backdoor, if we make the flush here and have the backdoor backdoor flush blocked as well, there's leading going on here. So feels like a randomizing thing that the solver is doing. Okay, but wait, no, wait, let's continue. Okay, so do we bet or do we raise the second nuts? Also something Rules Poker saying could be elite. What do you do against the raise then? You just close your eyes and stick around, I guess. This bet folding feels kind of weird, but maybe it's appropriate. Hang on, I haven't started yet. So the options are check, call, and raise again. Cool. There you go. Gonna go with the call as well. Everybody calling. Calling is correct. No variation where it changes. Right. So Rulers Poker, I'm wondering if you can, if this is a thing I can do in Visions. Can I set up multi-base spots now? Like if it's a pre-flop squeeze or yeah, just a multi-base pot. Is there a way to set that up? No, okay. Fair enough. Yeah, I imagine the computational requirements go up quite a bit for that, huh? Do 4-bet pots. That's not something I was... that's the newest thing. All right. Noted. On a very connected board, well, this is just going to be a fold. Maybe try a different suit variation. Yeah, I mean, then it's going to be check call. Right. So maybe a different board. So is this a thing that would be feasible to do multi-bay things post-flop? Because I could imagine it being just a bit too much, but I don't know. Okay, that's actually a spot I do sometimes wonder about. Spoiler, I do fold a lot here with pure overpairs like jacks, queens, kings, but let's see if that's actually the case. Troshko, welcome back. You need to do the exclamation point. And then there you go. Yeah, right. Should be. I wonder, can I? Oh yeah, I can. Hang on. We'll click the button first and then we'll give us a hand maybe with a 5 in there. That would be a bit more interesting. Okay, stop this manually. No need to have this play out because it should be straightforward. What is the correct answer? So give us a 5 here maybe. So go back to the, what is a deuce? And you can see there's some calling if we have 2 backdoor flush draws. Then we always call. But give us a blocker here. So with a blocker and a backdoor flush draw, even in triple, we sometimes call. But we definitely call if we never fold if you have a backdoor flush draw, basically. If it's an ideal backdoor flush draw, i.e. with 2 cards. You want to use a multiple sim to study for Microsoft, it wouldn't help much anyway. I see. Since nobody, so what you're saying is since nobody is playing GTO at the micros anyway, a multi-base sim is not going to do you much good, right? Because the underlying assumptions for it are not going to be applicable to the micros. Am I understanding that right? So if you have the 5, you can see calling quite a bit. There's some raising going on here. Very, very infrequently. It's basically 3%, so let's just ignore that. Give us the other blocker, give us the 6. Doesn't really change much. Changes a little bit. Oh yeah, because we don't block the wheel that way. So there is still calling going on, but a little bit less. All right. Can see GTO strategy. I mean, it's not something to strive for anyway, even in our shoes, to play GTO. It's just a baseline. We don't want to exploit our opponents, unless you're bad, yeah. So here, probably going to be check call, I would assume, but let's... I don't know if I rewarded the last one. I don't think I did. I probably still can. Hang on. It was fold. Everybody folded. Yeah, there you go. Cool. And I would assume check call, but let's... I put it up for the vote, and then let's also... I would be interested in turns here. Not gonna have this vote to run out the whole whatever it takes 45 seconds. Gonna stop it manually in a few. Since this should be straightforward, you have a pair, it's a rainbow board, not usually connected or anything. So should be absolutely no surprises, 100% call. And so, all right, for defending, excellent, excellent information the Rulers Poker will do. So let's play this one out and then let's go to insane. Wow! So did I bias you guys by saying it should be straightforward and should always be a call? Wow. And you need to vote faster. Yeah, that's true. So on the rainbow board, the top pair is good enough. Let's see. As you can see, with a backdoor, actually without any backdoor flush draw, it's pretty much 50-50 with the raising here. Yeah, it is a nice top pair with great backdoor straight draws. Yeah, there are a lot of huge turns for us. Any 8, 9, 10, Jack, of course, Queen, King, all of those are pretty excellent cards. And here we have 2 blockers, 2 backdoor flush draws as well. We have 3 blockers. We go and raise it the majority of the time, 3/4 of the time, basically. No backdoor flush draw blockers at all. We raise it 100%. Interesting. And here, the majority of the raising comes with the hands that you would suspect, where you have 2 backdoor flush draws. All right, did I reward this? Actually, there wasn't a winner. Okay, so let's play this out. Opponents play, we're gonna go with, actually just have them call. Zigrim, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate it. Okay, on the 9, I mean, that's going to be pretty straightforward. Let's give us a deuce of diamonds, and we're going to bet. Are you saying an ace on the turn? Let's do the ace on the turn then, yeah. And do we now bet or do we check? That's interesting. Keep in mind we did check raise the flop. Okay, that is interesting, Rulers Poker. Good call. I would hate it, but I think I would need to check here. Rulers Poker going for the bet. So it puts the wheel out there, which is not a huge concern, but an ace certainly is. Maybe I'm starting to like betting a little more, yeah. However, I'm going to stick to my guns with the check, because that's most likely what I would have done at runtime. Betting is indeed correct. But the majority of the time, our exact hand actually gets raised. Okay, if we click into details. So can I still change the card? Yeah, okay, cool. I'm kind of curious. I want to see something. So let's say we have this turn and we, on this one we want to bet. We can't. I was going to see if I can set up, like bet, this guy raises, what do we do now? Do we shove it in or do we fold with a huge sigh? Maybe let's do it like this and have this guy now bet, okay. So this is just for my own thing here. Let's not put a poll up for this. I assume... Actually, no, let's put up a poll for this and then we'll dive into a new spot with insane difficulty. So fold, call, or pot are the options yet again. Fold, call, or raise in this case. So the 6-4 and the wheel got there. There's not many hand combinations to be up against. Yeah, Rulers Poker. Yeah, sounds good to me. For the flow, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the fold. It's probably the pretty much the same facial expression that I would have at the poker table right now, going like, it sucks. All right, let's see what the deal is. Do we call or do we fold? Everybody going for the fold, and that is indeed correct. There's no calling going on here anymore at all on this rainbow turn. The folds have it. All right, insane difficulty coming up. You heard it here first. By the way, the apply button, that's something I had to wrap my head around. It doesn't apply here, what you select here. That's what the generate button is for. If you change something here, or it gives you some hand, it gives you a post-flop spot, whatever, if you continue your hand, you can click apply, and whatever happened here is going to be applied to the filters over here on the left side. So if you continue your hand, you get in a spot on the turn where you go like, this might be interesting to see with different variations of whole cards or whatever. Then instead of setting this spot up here, you can click apply, and whatever happened here is going to get moved over to these settings get adjusted automatically. I hope that's correct. I believe it is. And just a little like workflow thing I picked up on Visions. Alteus, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate it. Fedions, good to see you back. Welcome back, sir. So, insane difficulty coming up. We are still in the single race pot, small blind versus big blind. We are out of position, the pre-flop aggressor. And I found it confusing at first as well, Shadowmanic. I actually spent a minute thinking about how to improve it, how to name it differently. Couldn't come up with anything yet. I have both, courtesy of the nice folks over at Run It Once. They gave me access to the 6 Max and the heads up version. So to preempt some questions some of you just joining or joined recently might have, or a question, that's something we checked out initially, our checking frequency in this spot where we're in the single raised pot in the small blind on the flop is basically 100%. Like the solver is, what was it, raising or is betting like 3% or 6% or something. I think it was 3% of his range. So go with 100% and that's fine. And with the bear top pair, let's say 9-8. That confuses me, the 9-8. I'm going to go with the call here. Call is correct. This has to be fold, right? Sorry, it was just... Oh, should have put it up to a boat. We call, wow. Okay, then let's continue this hand. Okay, so we check call here. Little did I know. And this one I'm going to put up to a boat. And I guess we check 100% here again. No point leading out, but let's have this guy do something. And we could check call or raise. It's actually probably one of the better cards to roll off, right? Fold call or raise. Yep, there you go. Well, honestly, I'm stumped at this point since I wouldn't have gotten this far very well. At least not very often, I would say. So if we call the flop on this turn, I think we gotta call again. Like, we're not just calling it a queen or a 6 or a king on the turn, do we? Rules book saying no idea, lol. Yeah. That's actually, it actually is reassuring to hear you say that. Fold is indeed the correct answer. Rulers Poker, a question to you. This sim, I've never seen this symbol. What does this mean? The upwards arrow. That one stumps me. So folds is correct. Second or third nuts. All right. All right, cool. Second or third nut flush. Okay. Neat. Yeah, it makes sense if I see the actual cards here. Okay, next up, let's keep this flop and see different hole cards for it. Queen, queen, 10, 7. I'm not going to put up a pole. This feels like a fold. Flush draw next to high flush draw. All right, cool. Is 7 good enough to call here? Make it backdoor flush draw. Yeah, okay. That sounds reasonable. Okay, then I'm actually going to put it up for the vote. Bish Bash, welcome to the channel, man. Oh, you got in there just in time. Perfect. So everybody calling one fold. Calling is indeed correct. And we folded with no backdoor flush draw, basically. Pretty much the exact hand we had initially here. So call was correct. Click this button. Okay, perfect. Okay, so if you go with new hand, we just get a new hand here, right? Keep the same spot. Yeah, perfect. King, Jack 4. It's going to be straightforward as well. We're not raising here. It's going to be a call always. But let's continue this one maybe. All right, I'm curious. So I have nothing from, no pair from the board blocked, huh? I have that 4. We have a heart. I think I'd still call. So 2 folds, actually. Interesting. And the folds have it. Very nicely done. Yeah, I wonder about suit variations. You can just do this here, right? So where do we? So which ones do we fold? Let's do it with the solver call. I think it's moot to try to pick up a pattern in this spot. Yeah, sometimes this gets folded with 2 backdoor flush draw blockers. Sometimes it gets called with them. Yeah, so I don't think that's going to be too useful to dive into this and find a pattern where we call with this hand. Jack 4, although it does call 50% of the time. With the hearts, okay. And that's it. We call with the hearts. And there's some here, but here, if you can figure out a pattern, then good for you. Then let me know. But I think it's going to come down, like for us mere humans, it's going to come down to we call with hearts. To be my takeaway. Let me know if you feel that it's too simplistic and there's more to be gained here. Lily. Mouse. Mouse. All right. Sorry about that. Spaced out there for a minute. Easy to do when you have Lily looking at you. I'll give her some extra pets from you, boss. Should just be a fold, right? The new hand? Okay. That's a bit quicker than setting up a new spot every time. This time we have a backdoor flush draw. Nothing of relevance. I would just hazard it as a fold, yeah. Staring at the mouse pointer on the screen. You shall not, Lily. Gonna have words. 9. Sorry about that. Okay, should just be a fold as well, I would assume. If you guys want to look into a different out of position spot, and ideally, if need be, help me set it up, then let me know in the chat, and we shall do so. Because the other thing I had noted down, we're not going to be able to do today. Here with a pair of 8s and a gutter. This is actually kind of interesting. Like maybe I got surprised here. All right, let's put it up for a vote. Hang on, did I reward the last one? No, I didn't. And folding was correct if I remember correctly. There you go. Okay. Going with the call. Backdoor flush draw as well. Interesting. I'll see. I think I'll be nitty about it. I'll fold personally. But I am curious to see what the solver does. It's actually kind of a cool spot. So the folds have it. And fold is the correct answer. There's no variation of this hand that gets called. All right. And for this seems a good board. I think we're going to stick to this board for a while. Taking some time, huh? Huh. Different board it is then. Mounts. All right. Top pair here. I guess turn play gets interesting. But let's put it up. Frau Schwein, for the moment, yes. Because honestly, playing parts out of position, especially if I hit something, is hard for me. So it's something I wanted to look into myself today. Calling, it seems. Now, Ruler's Poker, if you're still in the channel, you can probably correct me on this, but I recently heard that you get a 1-day free trial. You can try it out for 24 hours, I believe. Let's have it, okay. Now let's actually continue this one. What would be an interesting turn card? Maybe an ace that doesn't bring a flush. We check. Bet. Do we have a call now? That's actually kind of interesting. Cutter versus button out of... Yeah, let's do that then. Next up. Sounds good, the boss. Want to try one or two more things? And then we'll do that. So a lot of folds here, huh? You know what? I'll probably fold two on the basis that my two pair outs might be dirty. But maybe that's overthinking it. Or maybe that's the wrong approach mentally. Like where they cold call pre-flop. All right. Sounds good, boss. So everybody folding. And fold is indeed the correct answer. Yeah, 5% calling sometimes. Fair enough. Folding it is. Lily. Hang on, give me a moment. Okay. Right, so just want to see if we go reload, we should go back to the... If we click new hand, we get a new hand in this spot, I believe. If we click reload, we should go back to this flop with a different hand, right? Yeah, okay. Just want to see if the new hand thingy works as I think it does. Interesting for me, and then we'll switch over to cutoff versus button. Yeah, whatever, doesn't matter. Just want to get to a turn. And now if we go for new hand, we should get a new hand. If we click reload, we go back to the flop with a different hand. If we click new hand here, we should stay in this spot and just get a new hand here, right? That made it to this point. Right. Cool. Noted. Alrighty then. Let's set up the spot a boss suggested. And that was cutoff versus button. So first you say we get check called, right? On the pre-flop. Yeah, that would be if the race is out of position, and this time the positions would be loose. Don't think we need to change anything. More C lamb card. Thank you very much for that. That took me a while. Thank you very much for the follow. Flop none, huh? Oh, right, right. Yeah, good point. Forgot I had that set. Okay, so the spot is now cutoff versus button. We had the preflop aggressor, we raised, get a flat from the button, and now we are first to act on the flop. It's actually an interesting one right off the bat. Oh. Sorry, that was Lily on the keyboard. I didn't know she could do anything. All right, let's try this again then. Okay, so check bet. There we go. Sheesh, Lily. I am gonna go with a good question. That's a good question. Wait, why is the voting stopped already? What the hell? Lily, I didn't know you couldn't have done that. Okay, let me put it up again. Sorry about that. Not sure what happened there yet now. Has the bot just given up? Or the voting what the fuck? Not sure if it works now. Hang on. Oh, I guess we'll see. So do we check or do we bet here? No pair from the board, but the 6. But also no backdoor. I think we check. Yeah, those were the wrong options. I don't know what happened here with the voting. Yeah, we check a lot of the range anyway. I think you're right. And that's 81% we do check here. So you got it exactly correct. And we check here as well. No, so this one I should have put up for the bet. Let's see. For the vote, I mean. What the hell? I think Lily I don't know what happens with what happened with the quiz bot. Let me restart the bot again. Give me a moment. Lily fucked something up. All right. What was a question here? Bish Bash asking, where's the button and did he check flop? Right now, that's the button. We are the cutoff player. We raised pre-flop, and now it's up to us to check or bet. I think since we're checking 81% of our range here, let's actually go with the same setup we've had before, where we check to this guy and react to his bet. Let me know if you don't find this as interesting, then I can change it back. But I think that might be more interesting. Let's see if the bot now works again. King Jack 3. I'm gonna put it up for a vote anyway, just to see if the bot now works. This looks better. Is there frequency for all boards? Yes, there is. Gonna do that and gonna do this afterwards, after this spot. Just this one is just to check to see if the bot is still working. Lily. Trouble wherever you go. Oh, the 81% was just for this board. That's a good question. Is it rulers? Okay, we have one fold. Fold is the correct answer, and that actually worked. Cool. I won, yay. So actually there's a filter here. So this is, generally speaking, this is out of position versus a bet here. You can see the percentages right there. Calling 41%, raising 13%, check raising in this case. And I don't think this filter works yet. Oh, it actually does. So on this board, as you can see, we call a bit more and check raise a little bit more, and we fold a little bit less. And we can also do a general frequency thing if we click this. Yeah, this one right here, right? Two hands? Or was this correct with the frequencies? Oh, now it quizzes us on frequencies in general here. Okay. But for this board, I assume, right? Ow, Lily. Filter gets applied to this. Yeah, okay. We're actually pretty close. Yeah, okay, cool. Cool. So this way you can study frequencies in general for various boards. You can have it give you a new spot. And then select the frequencies. I think on this one we fold a little bit more, raise a little bit less. Just to try it out. You seem to have a hand filter still activated. That's why it lags every time you use generate spot to load. Ooh. Alright. Pretty good. Let's see. Let's see if I can see if I have something. Right, I have no board pair here, so maybe I should go to hands and reset bottom right. Yeah, okay. So here, right? Bottom left. Yeah, okay. The bottom right threw me for a moment. So reset this. Take out the frequencies again. Okay, now it is indeed faster. We flop the wheel. Do we check raise? So that's actually interesting. Do we check raise, check call? I would assume we're not check folding. We also have a heart. We have a backdoor flush draw. We have two blockers, two backdoor flush draws as well. Follow to check raise. Gonna go with the call. Wheels, welcome back, man. How's it going, Wheels? Good to see you. So, what has it? The cards have it. And call is indeed the correct answer. As you can see, there is no suit variation here. Well, it's a rainbow board, so there's no variation where we raise, always call. But let's continue this one. Let's actually... let's not take this one. Let's take... I'd assume we check again. This guy now goes for 3/4. Do we check call, raise, or fold even? Just to satisfy my own curiosity here. Let's say we just call. I was going for the conservative fold. It's not a pretty turn. So I don't think it's totally out of the question to have some doubts here. The cards have it. The correct answer is to fold. Very nicely done, the boss. So where do we start calling? Well, with the flush draw, we always call. Down here in these categories. Can you guys make out any pattern here? No, I can't. Personally, I can't really. Seems pretty random, huh? Don't expand these kind of too much on Rainbow Board. Go with frequencies. All right. So going with this basically, that we fold 31% of the time and call 70% of the time. I mean, do you mean these frequencies for Rules Poker, or do you mean clicking something else? By the way, I appreciate having you here, providing some insights. Very helpful. Just honest randomly mix and sap categories, so I must look on the main categories. All right, yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, so basically with a backdoor flush blocker, there's some folding going on here. 40% or 6% calling, and with the backdoor flush, with a flush draw now, obvious call, obviously. All right. Interesting. Actually, this one is interesting. Huh. I think we call with the king, with the gutter ourselves, with the top pair. A little bit of a hard blocker, backdoor nut flush blocker, although that part is not usually relevant at all, I would say. But yeah, the top pair, the gutter to the nuts, and the blocker to the nuts, I don't think we can fold here. Hearts have it, all right. Let's play some turns, maybe. Hang on, call was correct. Okay, might actually be interesting as well. Check as the correct answer. He bets again. A plethora of draws. Didn't add that many. It only added a new flush draw, but paired the board. Not a pretty looking spot. I'd be curious. I think I'm leaning towards the folds as well. I think after this one, we'll do one more spot, and then I need to call this a stream, at least for now. Since I started a little bit late today. I need to get some food in me, and I'll be back in roughly an hour with a proper poker stream. Maybe a little bit later. Maybe 1.5 hours. Playing some PLO 20 on Run at Once is the plan. So we have one caller here, I believe. Interesting. See if you can... If you're right here. Fold is indeed the correct answer. And there's calling going on with flush draws. Overall, very little calling here, 18% only. So we fold them, overwhelming majority of our hand for ace king queen 4 combos. Okay, one last spot. Let's make it a good one. And not a mono board, no. It's just gonna be a call. No, not the same board. Wait. No, there you go. 4 with flush draw. Let's do this one. Okay, sure. Maybe I'm too nitty here. Yeah, let's actually play this one to the turn as well. A lot of folding. I'm gonna stick to my guns. I'm gonna call here. I want to hit a 5 on the turn. Let's see. Find the red browser windows again. There you go. Okay, so it's actually split 50-50 between calling and folding. And fold is indeed the correct answer. And there's no calling going on here, not even with 2 backdoor flush draws. I guess we're not going to play turns on this one then. Rulers fold, so it's probably a fold. Yeah. And if you have rulers and Shadow Maniac agreeing on the same one, then yeah, pick that for sure. That's not helping rulers poker you being unsure. You're supposed to be our beacon of knowledge. No, I'm just kidding. There are so many difficult spots. Turns out this one wasn't as straightforward as I thought it was. Okay. Right. Gonna cut this short now. 90 minutes study stream. Not a bad one, I guess. We can do the leaderboard results. Let's see. Well, they're a bit skewed since I clicked the wrong button once and didn't bother to correct it. Starts. Leaderboard session. There you go. There you have a leaderboard. Batch on top, beating me by 1 point. Very nice. But yeah, that's not 100% correct, as I said. There are 1 or 2 errors in this leaderboard due to me being stupid. Okay, so I'll be back with a regular PLO stream in 60 to 90 minutes, something like that, probably. In the meanwhile, let's head out over to Aruklas, who hasn't streamed in a while, a fellow PLO streamer streaming PLO 50 right now, I believe. With that, I bid you a good afternoon, and thanks for joining. Yeah. Thanks for sticking around. If you see an afternoon stream scheduled, then during the week, then likely it's going to be a Saturday stream. If you like this one, then yeah, keep an eye on the schedule. And also, I announce them out on Twitter if that's your thing. So thanks for having a good dinner. I'll try. Let's head over to Aruklas and Rulers Poker. Thank you very much for joining, man, and for being all kinds of helpful in the chat. Appreciate it. And lastly, BD4 SVV88. Thank you very much for the follow. See you later, guys. Cheers.